Hi, I'm Kristy.
And I'm Courtney, and we're Heard at the Barre.
Yes, we are. We're heard at the bar on a daily basis.
Yes, actually. I had posted on our Instagram, Heard at the Barre, a little plug in there. I had posted something and that our last podcast, and somebody actually wrote into it to say, yes, this is exactly what a class sounds like. Courtney and Kristy talking. So I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that's exactly why we were doing this.
Awesome.
Because we talk about it at the Heard at the Barre is things that are heard at the bar. So yeah, somebody posted to say that's when she's working out with us, that's exactly the conversations we have. It was the one about age of attraction. So
okay. Oh,
yeah, that's basically what our classes sound like. So
yeah, we try to distract you with our stories so that you don't notice the pain. It actually started in the bar classes. It was during bar classes
it's mainly my mat classes that you can tell as soon as I start to tell more stories, and when there's a new person in class, I'll say that like halfway through, I'm like, oh, by the way, I tell stories when it's really hard so that you don't remember what you're doing.
And then at the end, you're like, well, that was a good chat.
Yeah.
Why does my bum hurt?
But yeah, one of the topics we were talking about in the studio this week was kind of the difference. So we're from Generation X. So we have a tendency to not put ourselves first. So just something that we do as a generation, and we were talking about the fact that we're noticing, I guess, not millennials, because they're very, very similar to Gen X, but I guess it's Gen Z, not Gen Z. Gen Z doesn't
I have no idea.
Right.
I don't know what generations.
Anyway,
maybe age groups like the youngers.
Yeah, the youngers,
the under 30s.
Under 30s, above 15, I'd say.
Okay, whoever they are,
having more of a balance between life and work.
And you know what I would ask is it that we don't put ourselves first, or is that we have like visceral, crippling guilt?
It's the guilt.
If we aren't doing everything that we're supposed to do, and also everything we think people might want us to do. And in order to get ahead in life, I've got to do 110%. Otherwise, that job's going to be gone. They're going to let me go. Like is it a bit of work ethic? A bit of trying to prove ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
A bit of, mommy, love me. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
We didn't get any attention as children. We had to work really hard to get that attention. So now we're like, look at what we can do. We're going to do everything. Tell us we're great.
Yeah, we don't often say no. So when someone asks me if I can do something, I'm more often going to say yes, even if I'm not sure how I get it. Example, I just drove Mike and Max to the Sault Ste. Marie.
I could give you lots. I thought you said I can't give you an example. I'll give you 20.
No, I can. I can give you examples. I am terrible when someone asks me to do something. I make it work. I mean, good for them. They got to play hockey, blah, 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 blah.
Well, and this is their chance to get seen by scouts and stuff, right? Like it's important for them to be there.
Yes. But talking to some parents that are a little bit younger, I'd say 10, 15 years younger than me, they were like, what? You would drive like 9 hours to take them? They're not your kids. And I'm like, but why wouldn't you? Like,
Okay, Courtney, I'm of the same generation, and I'd be like,
but you were like, no, I wouldn't do it.
I can't do that. Like, I really want you to do well, but like, can we hire a driver? Is there not another player that could drive? Is there? I think I even said that to you. Isn't there someone in the organization that could drive them?
Yeah, they would rather leave them behind than do that because there isn't anyone willing to do it. So, and originally I was supposed to drive Max's parents. So it made sense. So they were supposed to be here. Yeah, I was going to go anyways. They were going to be here from Russia, and it just turned out they didn't get their visas. So,
Right.
but
Which
I
seems
was
to
going
be
to
a
do it.
big problem with the Russian players as well.
Yeah,
Unable to get their
yeah.
visas.
Same
Which
thing.
why you had to drive
Which
them.
is why I had to drive them. Yeah. So, hopefully that will be fixed at least for Max this year. He has an appointment in Kazakhstan on the 26th. So hopefully that he'll be able to get his American, I guess it's a professional athlete's visa.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully he'll be able to get that and then go to Buffalo for the combine and then the draft. And then hopefully next year he'll already have it. So it'll all be good.
Yeah. Will you go up for the draft?
I won't. No, I would if I was invited, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think that they are going with their agent, and
Right.
I'm sure he's invited a couple of friends. So yeah, but I invited them to come to our place afterwards. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it on TV.
Of course you will.
Yep,
You're a good hockey mom.
I am a good hockey mom. I watch it. I would do in past years. I've watched it. Anytime I know somebody that's in the draft, I always watch it. And this year, I think I probably know 15 to 20 boys in the draft. So
personally,
yeah,
Courtney,
yeah. Whether that
around. What was that? What was that movie? Bull Durham, the one, the baseball. I know this is not what Courtney's doing, but I had to bring that connection. That's just too easy. Wow, Courtney, you're inspiring a lot of young players.
Yeah, it's the age because my daughter, she knows a bunch of them. Or some of them are friends of a boy she dated, and then some of them are friends of Max, and then through the nights and stuff like that. So yeah, there's about 15 of them I think I know. So yeah,
very cool.
It'll be a good year. But anyway, speaking back to the word topic, right?
What we
why
originally
we
started talking about.
Yeah, so just the idea that, I mean, to us, there's a job that has to be done. You have to do it.
Yeah.
So the idea,
whatever it takes to do it.
Whatever it takes to do it. Whatever it takes. And just, trying to, and I mean, I've seen it with my kids. I've seen it with other people's kids, people in the studio, people in other studios. Just the idea that it's hard to find somebody who is willing to do the work. And things like Kian, he will have a job and he's working three jobs at the same time. Right. But if he's tired, he'll be like, oh, I think I'm going to call in. And I'm like, you can't call in. They're expecting you. They need you. You can't last second call in. You're not sick and dying. Right. What are you doing? And he's like, oh, but my mental health. And I'm like, mental health? I was like, what? Deal with it something else. And just the idea that they prioritize that.
Yeah.
Whereas we would be like working to the bone, being like, I got to get this done. This has to be done. Somebody has to teach this class. You can't just, I feel terribly guilty when I cancel a class because not enough people are enrolled.
Right.
It hurts me. That one person, today I had to cancel a class and only Paul was in it. And I felt terrible. I was like, I waited to the last second. I'm so sorry, but only one person signed up for the class, so I can't run it. Right. And then he was fine with it. He was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll take a class tomorrow. But I felt guilty.
Yeah. And luckily the majority of the people understand that we can't stay in business and run a class with one person in it. But it's painful because that person is now not getting their workout in, or they're going to have to make another arrangement or whatever. It's challenging. I remember one summer, I think it was maybe about 5 years ago or so, maybe less than that, 3 years ago. My times are way off. Anyways, let's say about 3 years ago. Isabel had 2 jobs at that time because she was saving up to go to school. So she was working for Marshall's, and then she had a job with a clothing store assisting their the person who managed the website and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so she had 2 jobs on the go. And we were out in the lake, and there was a group of women that were in the cottage next to us, and they were all talking about work and talking about her generation. and how unreliable they are and how they have a terrible work ethic and how they don't and they don't and they don't. And she's like slowly swimming over to me and she's like, we got to go inside. I'm like, why? What's wrong? She goes, because if I stay out here any longer, I'm going to yell at those ladies. Like, what's going on? What did they say? And she's telling me the story, and it's everything in her power to not doggy paddle over them and say, listen, I'm exactly who you're talking about. Here's what I'm doing for a living. Here's how many jobs I have. So like, obviously we know this is not the rule, but also that same little sweet pea who we know and love, Miss Isabel, will also say like, same thing. Like, I'm going to call in sick. I'm not feeling to it. Or when she's putting her schedule out, I'm going to tell them I can't do Saturdays. I'm like, Saturdays are the biggest day. What do you mean you can't do Saturdays? Like, you've got to do Saturdays. There will come a day where you won't have to, but right now you got to do Saturdays. And then she would be like, well, no, like I've got this, this, and this, and I need 2 days in a row. And I'm like, wow, okay. I mean, you do you, boo. Like, if that's...
Yeah, no, it's this same idea that I'm like, are you crazy? Like, I don't understand that. You're a low man on the totem pole. You can't expect, like, even when I was working at Western, that's what we would find. Like, we would have kids that are like, yeah, I can do this shift. And when it comes to it, they just didn't show up for any shift. They'd be like, oh,
just don't
tired.
show up. Don't even call or anything.
Don't call. Nothing.
Oh,
no, call. They don't call because they don't like confrontation. So they will not deal with that. They will text sometimes, but they will not call because they don't want to actually talk to you. They don't want to deal with the confrontation of you being disappointed in them. They don't want to hear that you're disappointed. They don't want your response. So they just don't show up.
Oh, wow.
And so you would not know on a daily basis how many people would actually show to their shift.
Right.
Because they just didn't do it. And the number of people I've heard in class who have businesses who say the same thing. They're having the exact same difficulty. And it's with the younger generation where they're like, no. But they have no feeling of guilt. They're just like, nope, didn't want to do it.
So then the question I have is what we're talking about and our frustrations with it. Is it equivalent to what our parents' generation would have gone through with the generation above them?
I'm assuming.
Did the generation before us say, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen with our future. These kids, I don't know what we did wrong because we're amazing. But right, like, is this just like is this an age thing? Is this like not understanding like the evolution of the human race? Do we worry, or is this just what naturally happens and it will get figured out just like every other generation has figured it out?
I don't know. Like, if you look back and think on when we were working. So there's like before the boomers, there was so our grandparents' generation, and they were crazy hard workers. Like, boots on the ground, like working, doing anything just to make things work.
And single family income.
So they worked very, very hard.
Yeah.
And then there was the boomer generation. And while they worked hard, I don't know, like, maybe it's because like my mom, she didn't work. Both my parents didn't work at the same time. Like, my mom ended up working later. But not when I was little. Okay. It was that whole, I forget what they call it, the trad wife or whatever it is. Traditional, I think what they call it now, traditional wife, where my mom looked after kids, made dinners and until a certain time. And then she went into the workforce later. Right. But yeah, I don't know. And then now it's obviously our generation where both male and female worked very, very hard. And your goal, regardless of male or female, was to get to the top of your career. Like, and now I'm not
I would say the pressure of you got to have it all.
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to like have the career, have the family.
Have the career, have the house, family. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And then now the next generation below them, so not our kids, but the generation below us, would be the millennials, I guess. And they're kind of backing it off. They're more like, I don't care if I'm the top of my career. I get to mid, I'm happy with my income, and I want a vacation. Like, whereas for us, we're like, I want the vacation house. I want the, the house. I want the kids. I want the, like, I want it all. Whereas the next generation's down is kind of like, meh, I don't want it all. I still want to be happy. And then I feel like the next generation is more like, I want the money, but I don't want to do the work.
Right. I don't want to have a starter house.
I don't want to start a house. I don't want to start a job.
I want a 3-4 bedroom walk-in closet ensuite right off the bat.
Yeah. Like I want to walk in up here, whereas we're like, I want to get that apartment, and then I want to get the first starter house, and then I want to get my forever home. Whereas now they're like, I want to go to the forever home, and I want to have 10 forever homes. But I don't want to do that entry level position. I graduated from university and I expect to walk into a $70,000 a year job, and nothing else. I don't want anything else.
But does a university degree even get you that anymore?
It does not. No. And that's the problem. So when I was at the university, that's what I was seeing is these kids are graduating from university. And so we would offer them entry level, right? So it's a step above minimum wage. And they'd be like, no, I have a degree. And I'm like, everybody has a degree.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I expect to be here. And I'd be like, well, that's not a possibility. Like, that's not how it works. Everything at the university starts at the bottom and you build your way up. Like, you can't walk in up here.
Yeah. You're not going to be a manager right out of school.
No, you're not a manager out of school, but that's their expectation. Right. Because that's what they did their degree for. And they don't understand putting in the work. So, but mind you, you have people that come from other cultures and countries and they're willing to take those lower level jobs, right? Because that's what they know. They know hard work. This is definitely a North American thing. Like, it's definitely not across the world. And I think it's because we're so used to seeing TV, what's on TV, right? You watch those Kardashians and they get all this stuff from being influencers, and they just think that money comes easier and that the hard work, they don't need to do the hard work.
They call it mailbox money.
Yes. And I don't understand, where did the work ethic go? And also, what happens when we retire? If we've got people that are younger who are not showing up to work, who's going to do the work? Like, I've seen people saying that now that the work from home is not an option in most businesses anymore. People don't want to work. They're like, no, I'll find a job that lets me work from home because I don't want to get dressed up and go into a corporate job. I would like to sit in my pajamas and do my job. Like, who's going to do those jobs?
But again, it just brings me back to, like, is this us being a generation complaining about these young kids and how are they going to...
Yeah. Potentially. Oh, it just occurred to me. So Neve went on a date the other day. He took her to Eastside Mario's. And oh my God, there's a robot that serves food at Eastside Mario. Yeah, I know. So she came home and she was telling me about this. So this robot literally has a conversation with you. So it drives over to your little thing.
No.
Yeah. Has a little chit chat, and it's got a platter with the stuff on it.
Right. Here in London, Ontario.
Eastside Mario's at Mason Hill.
They have a robot waiter.
Yep. I don't know what it looks like. I didn't ask the question, but she said that she came home and she was like, Mom, they have a robot. It delivers food and it chats. So it can have a little conversation with you. God. So I was like, oh my gosh. So here I am talking to her about potentially server jobs, right? You got to start at the bottom, get a server job. And then from there you move up. If you want to be, she eventually wanted to be a bartender as a student job. She's like, So I'm like, yep, you got to start as a host, then a server, then apparently maybe those jobs are going wayside. You just need the cook to be able to put it on the little thing and tell it where to go, and it goes. I was like, what?
Oh my God. Okay, Eastside Mario's, if you want to send us a gift card.
We'll try.
We'll go try it out, and we'll bring some cameras and talk about it.
Oh my gosh. But so just think of it. that
crazy.
thing could come over. It's got an iPad on it, or even at your desk. Yeah, you come in, you sit down, you choose what you want on the menu, and this thing comes over and serves you. There's nobody dealing with you.
Okay, so that's fine. That's great. I'm so excited. After spending an hour, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to do this.
You're going to do it.
Trying to set up a new plan on a new carrier for my mobile. And I spent an hour on their website trying to do this. And I'm like, I finally get to this one screen. First of all, it took forever for the security code to come through. You know, you got to wait for that code. Waiting. It took forever. And finally I get to the point, put in the information, and there's two options at the bottom. There's view details and message. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know where to go from here. So I start the chat. The chat took me way longer than it should have because it took forever for the person to respond to me. Finally, he says, send me a screenshot. I send him a screenshot, and he goes, oh, that's a design error. The continue button is underneath the message button. See the orange? You have to click on the orange. Not only that, dude left the chat immediately after that, because I then clicked on it, and then it said that there were no numbers available in London, Ontario.
What?
Yes.
What?
Okay, so that's what happens when the computers and the robots take over.
I think, having operated a chat, I think you were dealing with a person, not an AI chat. And the person clicked out of it. An AI chat would have sat and waited for you forever until you responded and X'd out. But a person, because I know my staff used to do it all the time, they would like X out and close the chat and be like, I'm done with you. Thank you.
I don't want to talk to this crazy lady anymore.
But oh my goodness, that is insane.
Right. So you're thinking online, quick, let's get this done.
Yeah.
You were coming over. I had an hour. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this real quick, and then I'm going to do other things the entire time.
You did that the entire time.
And it's not
until I
done.
got here.
And it's not done.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I
wanted to throw my phone off the balcony. So, like, I'm all for making things easier.
Mm-hmm.
It is becoming more and more challenging for businesses to get those lower level helpers.
Yep.
But at the same time, like you've said this too about Neve trying to find a part-time job, and there aren't part-time jobs out there for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what's going to happen to us?
Yeah, and I don't know, like, who's going to make how are people going to make money? Like, if these jobs are all going AI and stuff like that, that's less jobs that are available for kids, for people. Like, what if you don't go to college or university? What if, there used to be trades. Well, now for trades, you actually have to go to college, and then you have to do an internship, and then you have to put in the hours before you get your certification. Like, there's all those things. What are you going to do in the meantime?
Yeah.
Like,
this is a very doom and gloom conversation. We have to shift gears.
Yes, I'm sorry.
This is very doom and gloom. I was, when you suggested that we talk about this, I was thinking, okay, how do we put the funny spin on this? I don't know.
Well, and it is hard to put a funny spin on without giving details. Like, you don't want to throw anyone under the bus or anything like that. So it's one of those things that it's hard.
But I know we're not the only ones dealing with it.
No, definitely not.
We're not the only ones who are probably concerned about this.
No. Because when you think about it, wasn't it like the boomers? Remember in a sociology class, I think it was, or something like that, there's the triangle, the upside down triangle with all the boomers up top, then our generation, then the younger generation, because we're getting smaller and smaller in the population. So the smaller population is going to have to support the larger population because people are living so much longer these days.
Yeah.
what is going to happen? Like, if you're thinking about it, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. My husband is thinking, oh, he's going to retire in 3 years. Well, he's only going to be 55, like maybe 56 when he retires. And
Ooh. Which was a thing
it
when
was a
you
thing.
died at 80.
Exactly. So now I'm thinking, like, my grandmother's 102. Like, that's 50 years. Like,
I know.
that you've got to make sure you have enough income for. Like,
we went out for drinks last week, and stopped at a friend's house talking to her husband. And I hadn't been to this place before. And I'm not going to give them a shout out because they haven't paid us. But the place that we went to, I was asking him about it. He said, oh, yeah, my friends go. And I'm like, yeah, I understand the age groups. Like, it's around our age group. He goes, yeah, and like the middle age, too. And I looked at him and I was like, Rick, I am middle aged. I plan to be 110. How dare you not classify me as middle aged? That was painful. He didn't mean it, like, but I took great offense to it. How can I not be middle aged? I still feel like I'm like 20 sometimes.
27. 27 is my
That's
age.
your age?
Yep,
Really
27
specific.
is my age. I hit to 27, and then that was probably my favorite age.
Okay.
And then that's where I'd like to stay.
What made 27 your favorite age?
I think I didn't have kids yet. I had a full-time job, good, no debt, no anything, enjoying life.
Yeah.
I was, like, I had commitments, but not a lot. Like, I was married, but I was, living my own life.
Wild.
I'm trying to think, at 27, I might have been touring. So seeing the world, enjoying.
Yeah, and when I hit 25, I had a hard time with 25. Because it felt like I was
all God.
choked up about this. But once you hit 25, you were on the wrong side of your 20s.
Oh, see, I never thought of it
Like,
that
I
way.
just saw it as like I was just now, like, it was a fast drop to 30.
But you had Kayla at that time, right? So
I had Kayla, yeah. So yeah, I experienced my 20s were much different than most because yes, I was a young mom. I was single for part of my 20s. But I just remember hitting 25 and just feeling like, shit, here we go. Like, I'm full on grown up, done university, in the career, getting the career jobs, like that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not playing anymore. I got to be serious. And I didn't like that.
Yeah, no, 27 was my favorite.
I've said it, like, having Kayla young actually probably saved me because I think I would have done some crazy shit. I definitely would have been a part of some class action suit at some point.
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. No,
for sure. Not people would be suing me, but that I'd be a part of something suing some sort of conglomerate or something. Yeah.
Oh wow. Here goes my.
There we go. There's Courtney's sigh.
Time to wrap it up.
There we go. The sound of Courtney's sigh. She's had enough. She doesn't want to talk to us anymore. Although I tell you this, here's what's going to happen, my friends, our Heard at the Bar community. These cameras get turned off. We watch for a moment to make sure that everything's loading properly. And then this one doesn't stop talking for at least 2 hours, maybe more.
Because a lot of this stuff I can't talk about on here.
And that one over there that you can't see on camera, Mr. Simon, the two of them get going. And there are some very inappropriate conversations that happen in my living room. We have to start a whole other podcast that I don't even know where we could even air it because it was crazy.
It's not meant to be heard.
So from here on out, know that there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes, but all you're going to find out about is what's been heard at the bar.
Thank you for being part of our community.